Hey guys, today it's all about books. These 5 books need to be in your library, and I'm going to explain to you why on Marketing Food Online. Hey guys, it's Damien from Marketing Food Online, and as always, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. So, as I just mentioned in the intro, these next 5 books I'm going to show you are 5 books that should be of very good interest to you, and you need to have a copy of each one of them, in my opinion, in your library at home, and you need to get on to reading them. They are loaded with a lot of wonderful resources and a lot of tips and tricks on how to open a food business, produce a food product, also getting out of the habit of where you are now so you can get into a new habit of having your own business and being your own boss. Of course, that's what you truly want to do. So, as you may or may not know, I'm an avid reader. I read between 8 to 10 books a week. And that's not from cover to cover. I'm actively reading every single day. I spend probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours of my day reading books or reading information on businesses, how to grow my business, how to create other streams of income. When I first started my business years ago, when I worked in retail, I always had that mindset that many of you probably have, working for a paycheck and having one source of income. And when that was taken away, you really quickly figure out a way to create more than one income source. And now that's a mentality, that's a way of thinking now for me. And we have probably between 12 to 13 sources of income, different things from ebooks that I have written, YouTube channel. Of course, I have multiple YouTube channels. We have several stores online, and we do wholesale, we do retail, we do private label. We do a lot of different things to bring money to us. Now, I don't tell you this in no way, shape, or form do I tell you this to brag about my situation, but to encourage you to actually do the same thing, because there's no difference between me and you at all. And the way I used to think, my old habit, the way I used to think and the habits that I had before are what kept me in the mindset of having only one paycheck. Now I don't rely on one source. I have multiple sources. And any successful entrepreneur, you could go as high up as Bill Gates, you could go to Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, these guys who are billionaires even, those guys have created multiple streams of income, not relying on one avenue. You are no different than them. You just need to understand in your mind, how does it work? And then begin to put it into action in your own life. And it has to do with habit, which brings me to the first book. So this book, I got this this has been out for a little while, but I actually got a copy of this about 3 months ago, and it is phenomenal. And now that you know, these 5 books, I will put in a description down below. I will put a link for each one of them. You can take a look at them and see if it's something you want to get for yourself. If you're looking to get into the food business, I highly recommend these 5 because I have been reading them myself, and they have brought a lot of insight into opening different types of food businesses, not just creating a food product, not even just creating a type of retail store. Maybe you want to have a retail store. Maybe it's having businesses online that sell food. But the next 5 books, I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, and then you need to read them seriously. And by the way, you can get these used. You don't have to buy them brand new. So the first one, The Power of Habit. This is a book which really opens your eye, and I'll leave it there for a second, okay? That opens your eye to what you do day in and day out. Believe it or not, everyone works out of some type of a habit. So if you're looking to start a new business, it's really also, it's a little bit about learning, of course, about business, figuring out what the product is, but understanding that it just transitions you from one habit to just another habit. So my habits, for instance, today, every day that I get up right now, my habits are much different than the habits that I had before when I used to go to a job and work for a company, okay? So it's all about a mindset. It's all about understanding that you can literally change your habits, but you just need to understand it. This is not that big of a book. It's probably about 200 or 300 pages. Let's see. 360 or so pages, which is not a big book. You can read sections of this. When I would tell you that I read 8 to 10 books a week, I go through here and I mark off certain pages. I read a few pages of each chapter at a time. I don't necessarily read 10,000 pages a week. That's not what I meant. Go through here and I read everything I get my hands onto, because the more I know, the better my business will be. And of course, the more you know, just fill your mind with what you need to fill it with. Understand how the food business works. Understand the power of your habits and how you can change them. It's all about a mindset and about making a choice to go a different route or different path than what you're doing right now, okay? And it takes time. This doesn't happen overnight. Like I said, I've been doing this for nearly 11 years since I stepped away from working for somebody, okay? And it can definitely work for you. Okay, the next one up is a startup. Start your own restaurant or 5 other food businesses. Now, I don't necessarily run a restaurant. I have worked in restaurants when I was in high school and part of my college days, but I don't want to open a restaurant. But this is chock full. The 5 others is actually really cool information. It's fantastic. Again, you can get this used for just, I think it's about 10, 12 bucks. It's very cheap. Not a big one at all, kind of thin, but it has a lot of very useful information in here. Okay, so check it out. Again, I'll put the link down below. See that? Cool. Move on to the next one. Now, the next one that comes up, this is something that I'm looking into. This is new, this idea for me, but it is a concept that's not new, obviously, to the world, but I haven't really looked too much into it. But then when I started to read this book, this was kind of interesting, and this is something you can create and have someone else actually physically go around and run it, operate it for you while you're doing something else. So the good old vending business. Believe it or not, vending machines are still a money maker if you understand how they work and you have someone running it for you from day to day. And it's not that complicated. It's just a matter of having the right vending machines in the right areas, right spots, okay? High traffic areas. Again, a lot of great resource. You don't have to read this from cover to cover. Skip through it. Look at the information that's really interesting to you. I'll leave it up for a second. Vending business. You have them established, they're physical vending machines, you put them up, you get them in a certain spot, then you just let someone else run it for you and collect the monies, fill it up, and you're good to go. So I'm not saying it's that easy to do. Trust me. When I'm reading from it, I personally have never had a vending machine, but it's something I'm looking into. And again, those multiple sources of income, if you had 10 or 15 of these located around the city or county where you're at, that could be an extra few hundred or a couple grand a week or even a month. Not bad extra income. Okay, next one up. This one is phenomenal. This is a start your own specialty food business. This caught my eye. This is a short read, very quick, probably about 150 pages, very small. Okay, fantastic resource. And again, I'll put the link down below. I got this used myself online. I think this was like $7 or $8, something like that. But I've been reading this for quite some time now. It's a great resource book. Okay, now next one up. This one has, when you talk about multiple sources of income and constant revenue streams, okay, this is awesome. This is a huge book, but it has a ton. Literally, it actually almost weighs a ton. Look at how thick it is. This is 500 pages, okay? 1,500 great business ideas, okay? This has a section of it dedicated to food businesses or a foods type of business, okay? And has way more than that. And you can see on the bottom there, it just gives you a scan through home-based businesses, businesses you can start between $5,000 and less, computers, sports or fitness related, real estate related, transportation, desktop publishing. There's just on and on. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this and I focus on food is just what I meant. There's a section here, it's huge, dedicated to food businesses, and you could start them up, okay? It's a big directory, well worth it. I think this was like 12, 13 bucks, somewhere around there. So anyways, I wanted to go over these 5 books. They are in my library. I actually have several hundred books. They're everything from self-development to business, entrepreneurial, biographies, autobiographies on successful business people. You've got to get yourself in the mindset of those people who are successful, and your own success will happen. I'm not going to get here and be a motivational coach or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you, I have changed my mind in a lot of different directions from the way I used to think, and they were very limiting ideas, to now, like, the sky is literally the limit. Sorry for the cliche, but it literally is. When you start reading this information, you can fill your mind up with all the possibilities that's out there. There's no reason why you can't be just as successful as anyone else who's making millions of dollars. You just need to understand how it works. So with that being said, I hope that helps you out. Please do try to get at least 1 or 2 of these books. If you can get all 5 of them and start reading them. I'm going to do regular videos like this, and I'm going to bring my library, little by little, my library from my office onto these videos, and I'll show you 5 books at a time, things that I have read that have helped me, have been beneficial. So hopefully they help you and make life a little easier and better when you start to learn these things. So do take care, and if this video was helpful, do as always give me a big thumbs up and try to catch up on a couple of these books. I'll see you on the next video.